hell, unten oder oben? Ha? Noch nicht, ich bin noch nicht drauf. So ist dunkler. So ist heller. So ist schon ganz so. Soll wir dann hier dann in D reinmachen? Das ist ja schon auf 3. Und die ist schon auf 3. Die ist auf 2. Also hier können wir noch eins höher, wenn es jetzt nicht mehr dunkel entgeht. Der Violet fährt jetzt der Oliver. Driverless oder war das schon? Weiter gleich. Oder? Geht doch weiter gleich. Der will ja irgendwas haben oder will er einen Wahlpush? Jetzt 4800. Was war der hier? Ich habe jetzt einfach mal das Setup gemacht. Ich weiß nicht, was passt jetzt. Jetzt ist höher geworden. 4991 Kelvin. Fahrerlos. Tja, schade. Fertig. Schaff's aber noch. Alles so. Da geht er 10.000 Punkte abgezogen. Hast du ein weißer Fleisch los? nochmal mit wieder hin. Kaffels. So genau. Das mal hier aufmachen. Was? Da auch ringsrum. Also mal, ja. Gehst du kaputt? Ja, du kannst halt hier drin so noch nicht stehen. Warum? Ja, weil es kann sein, dass du, je nachdem, wenn die von hier kommen, dass du hier nochmal was filmst. Da hast du ja hier so den scheiß Pfosten da. Das muss mal gucken, dass man so wenig wie möglich da an den Pfosten vorbeischwimmt. Kann das richtig stehen sein? Eigentlich müssten wir heute Abend einfach da hochklettern und da einen Sack drüber binden. An den Mast. Muss ja morgen wieder aufstehen, sonst. Das kann man da gerade hängen lassen. Die Drohne ist doch da, die kann doch abwerfen von oben.
Hörst?
Also keine Ahnung.
Also es kommt auf jeden Fall nicht bei mir an.
Hier bleiben, oder? Was denn?
Good afternoon, Hockenheim. A little bit of a delay with our commentary starting at the Driverless Autocross event due to some technical difficulties. Fortunately, we are now back in action, and as we all know, too much of a good thing can be a little bit bad as well. So now that you've had a little break from all of our voices, here we are again. We just saw the team from Dresden, car number 59, unfortunately DNF in the first corner of the Driverless Autocross. And next up, we have the other Karlsruhe, car number 44 from Ulm, getting ready for their second attempt. It has been a pretty successful showing from most of the teams at the Driverless Autocross so far. And in fact, the vast majority of them have finished their first attempts. Now we see Ulm getting ready for their second attempt. Orange lights are shining. The car is ready to go. Start signal is heard and the car sets off, finding its way very tentatively through the first corner, but staying well within the cones, navigating the first slalom. Seems to be very sporadic throttle inputs from the algorithm, a little bit of a stop-go type of action, but as long as it stays within the cones and finishes, that is not an issue. Wobbling it a little bit left and right, making sure to stay within the cones as it goes around the far corner. Having a little bit of difficulty bouncing left and right a little bit too much, but still managing to find its way back onto the track. A round of applause from the audience. And making its way back to the start-finish line. And there is the blue light. A successful run on the second attempt from Ulm. With a time of 66.67. And as one black and yellow car is being rolled away after its successful run, the next one is coming in, car number 76 from Karlsruhe. The Karlsruhe car is already on the starting line. Team members and officials retreating behind the safety of the tire wall. Let's see what Karlsruhe can do on their first run. Also a bit of a tentative start, but picking up some speed, finding its way neatly through the slalom section. Speeding up very confidently on the straights, drifting a little bit, clipping a cone, but finding its way back onto the track, kicking up dust as it flies past the timing van, coming back around, across the line. Will it stop within the lines? Yes, it will. A successful first run for Karlsruhe with a time of 25.84, the fastest time so far. Car number 41 from Deggendorf, Fast Forest, lining up for their attempt at the autonomous autocross. Officials are ready. And the car sets off. Going very nicely through the slalom, not clipping any cones. Going at a very consistent, say medium pace, I would call it. Staying neatly within the track. Getting just a little bit loose through that back bend, but finding its way back to the middle of the cones very nicely, staying on line. And crossing the finish line. And a solid blue light, a successful run for Deggendorf. Next contestant lining up is car number 131 from UAS Munich. This will also be their first attempt at the autonomous autocross. Let's see how well they can finish. Should be setting off any second now. The officials and team members have retreated to the control station. There is the ready to drive sound, and off it goes. Very, very tentative start here in the beginning, slowly picking up the pace. But unfortunately going straight forward, and it is turning left, but not quite enough. And it just kept going and going straight on, and unfortunately I think the team member had to stop it. That will be a DNF on Munich's first attempt, but they still have at least one more try later on. So car number 54 from Barcelona being prepared next. And there are a couple more cars making their way on over to the queue. Of course, we've only seen about 15 contestants so far out of the over 30 that have passed all of the driverless scrutineering and have most of them at least participated in the autonomous kitpad and autonomous acceleration in the past 2 days. So still plenty more action to come, hopefully. This event will be ending at 7:30, so still just over 2 hours left for all of the teams to get their runs in. The team members and officials from Barcelona now retreating to the safety area. Orange lights are flashing. The timer to begin the run has started and the officials are keeping track on the stopwatch. And unfortunately, that is not a successful attempt by Barcelona. We see the blue flashing LEDs. The team will have to retrieve the car, and I believe that will count as a DNF on their attempt. And the next car that will be led onto the track is now number E24. Car number E24 making their way over to the starting line. The team making sure that it is aligned as perfectly as can be. Team member taking a little bit longer to set up the car, prepare it for the run. And the car seems to be ready to go. Sets off very, very tentatively. Just the right steering adjustments being made to pass through the slalom section without hitting any of the cones. The car may be even slowing down a little bit more, but I think the team probably opted for an extremely cautious pace just to make sure that they get one successful run in. It is going well so far. To the next corner now. Going just a little bit wide on the entry, missing the apex, but still making it through. past the grandstand, everybody can get a very close look at the car, appreciate it for all of its features. Coming now onto the back half of the lap. Making it through the little chicane before the long parabolic-like turn to the back straight. Still finding its way nicely through the middle of the cones. Still staying very neatly within the bounds of the track. Not the fastest speed that it was done at, how much it means to the team. You can tell that it was a big challenge for them to overcome, to develop this driverless system and to make it drive successfully. And it is a fantastic achievement for Team E24. seconds for the team from Leiria. Car 63 of NTNU Trondheim. This will be their first attempt. Sets off, and unfortunately just after the start line immediately takes a turn to the left, and the safety officer having to stop it just before the tire roll. Thankfully doing it in time, no damage to the car, no damage to anything else, but that will be a DNF on the first attempt for Trondheim. Next up in the queue will be car number 7 from Lisbon. So car number 7 from Lisbon is ready at the starting line. This will be the first attempt from Lisbon, the second attempt from a Portuguese team we've seen so far. Setting off very rapidly, finding its way nicely through the first couple of corners. Slowing down nicely for the hairpin, going past the grandstand and the audience. Going well through the back curve. Just one corner left. Navigating its his way nicely through there as well. Ooh, hitting quite a few cones on the finish. But there is a solid blue light. Not sure whether that will count as a DNF or as a completed run due to the number of cones that were hit at the end there. But it did seem to stay entirely within the track, so we will see later in the results whether that was a successful attempt. And it was a very fast time of 27.53. Less than 2 seconds off the fastest we have seen so far, which was from Karlsruhe with a 25.84. And up next is car number 124, Tallinn. So the car from Tallinn ready to start its first autocross attempt. The track marshals just taking away some final cones. The track is ready to go as well. See the flashing orange lights and off it goes, very tentatively at first, going left and right, left and right. Unfortunately going a little bit too far to the right, not quite able to stay on the track. That will be a DNF on the first run for 124. Hopefully when they return it will be a more successful attempt. pushed away by the team members. And next up will be car number 92. And as you can tell by the chanting, it is most likely a Spanish car, and it is indeed the University of Sevilla. From Sevilla ready at the starting line. Flashing orange lights. Sets off. Immediately takes out a couple of cones on the right and on the left, and unfortunately the team has decided to stop the car. It's going to be a DNF on their first try. The car not quite able to find where the right direction to go is. Hoping they'll be able to resolve the issue, and we will still see them perform a successful second attempt. And while they prepare, we see car number 171, KTH Stockholm, making their way to the start line. the ready to drive signal heard from the car of Stockholm. The officials looking at the stopwatch, making sure the car will start moving within the allotted time. The algorithm hesitating somewhat, a little bit unsure of what it's supposed to do. And unfortunately unable to get moving. That is a DNF on their first run, I believe, for Stockholm. Car from Stockholm is being wheeled away by the team. It is being replaced by car number 22 from KU Leuven. And this will also be their first attempt at the driverless autocross. Team's preparations are complete. The officials and the team members are retreating to the safety behind the tire wall. Orange lights are on. Ready to drive signal is heard. Flashing orange lights are seen. Just like the Stockholm car, the car from Leuven is in a bit of a contemplative mood. The officials looking at the timer, yes, and unfortunately that will be a DNF for Leuven. Seems the car decided it would rather not perform the autocross just now, but this was only their first attempt. They will get one more go, so hopefully they will be able to sort out their issues and we will see them complete a run. next we have car number 78 from Hamburg. They're also coming in for their first attempt. The team moving the car back and forth a little bit, making sure to position it exactly where they want it. Presumably precisely down the middle of the cones. Let's see if the Hamburg car is in a bit more of a driving mood than the previous two. Final preparations complete on car number 78 from Hamburg. And let's hope to see them get going in the coming minute or so. Yes, and the car does set off, picking up quite a bit of speed, slowing down nicely for the slalom. Drifting through both of those corners, clipping and hitting a couple of cones here and there, but staying nicely on the track. Coming up against what seems to be a bit of a speed limit on the back curve. Running through the back straight, I can see it's still carrying one of the cones along, but navigating the final corner nicely across the line. And stopping within the lines and with a solid blue light, that is a successful run for 78 Hamburg. With a time of 28.75, they are provisionally fourth on the board. Next, car number 149 from Erlangen. Seeing now some final preparations from the Erlangen team members. I see one of them has a plushy octopus with them, a bit of a team mascot. So final checks on the Erlangen car are complete. And let's see if it can get going. Solid orange lights. Ready to go sound is heard and the car does set off. A bit of a tentative start. Its way through the track very, very carefully. It is still between turns, picking up a little bit of speed on the straight section, but now sensing in the next corner, so slowing down to go through it very gently indeed. Present here at FSG. Making its way neatly through that final kink. Along the gradual back corner now, again picking up a little bit of speed on the small straight section. Let's see if it speeds up again on the back straight. Yes, it does. And coming back now to the finish line. Past the orange cones and stopping nicely as well. Do we see a solid blue light first? Yes, we do. It is a successful run for Erlangen. To pick it up. Congratulations to Erlangen as we now see car number 33 from AMZ making their way over to the start line. And this will be their second attempt. They set a time of 32.4 on their first try. And let's see if they can improve on that. Let's see if it goes on their second run even more aggressively than on the first. So once again, 32.4 to beat. We see the flashing orange lights and the car sets off. A bit of a jerk at the start, but as it crosses the start line, it accelerates. Staying very smooth and very neat through the initial slalom, through the hairpin and along the grandstand. Very smooth steering input and very smooth throttle input as well. Going very fast on the back straight, clipping a cone, almost losing control, but the car manages to find its way back onto the track. Better than some drivers, I would say. And there's a solid blue light, and that is a successful second attempt for AMZ. And they do indeed manage to improve on their first time, setting the fastest time of the day so far with a 25.7. Of course, a couple of cones hit here and there, and all the times we see on the timing board are provisional for the moment and not the final official tally. But in any case, a phenomenal performance from Zurich, as we now see car number 197 from Schweinfurt approaching the start. Schweinfurt sets off very quickly. A little bit on and off with the throttle input, but staying very neatly within the track. It seems to be settling in a bit more of a steady pace now. A little bit jerky on the accelerator again, hitting a couple of cones before the back straight, but managing to stay on the track through the final corner, crossing the finish line and just waiting for that solid blue, and there it is, a successful run for Schweinfurt. A well-deserved round of applause from the audience, and it is a 37.26 on their first run. And now we see car number 63 from Trondheim, returning for their second attempt. They unfortunately suffered a DNF on their first run, but seeing as they came back pretty quickly, that would imply that the team knows what the issue might have been and have hopefully resolved it successfully. And we'll see now what car number 63 can do. Final checks and setup complete on the Trondheim car. Hearing the ready to drive sound. Flashing orange lights. And the car sets off. Very twitchy with the steering input, but managing to avoid all the cones in the first part of the track. Nice and smooth through the hairpin. A little bit twitchy again in the back half, but still staying very clean. Accelerating on the straights, slowing down preemptively for the final corner. Making it through there very neatly as well. Across the line. Stopping a little bit later on, but still between the cones, and a solid blue light with a successful run for Trondheim. And a very solid time of 30.69. Congratulations, Revolve. And up next will be car number 41. No, not car number 41. Car number 41 will stay in the queue a little while longer. Because first we have car number 90 from Politecnico di Milano. Final checks complete on the car from Milan. We see the orange flashing lights, hearing the ready to drive sound. And the car sets off very jerky. I hear an exasperated no coming from the timing van, as the car was definitely heading towards the timing equipment. Unfortunately, that will be a DNF for Milan. But that was, of course, only the first attempt of Milan, so they will still have a chance to run the autocross again. And in the background we have DHBW Stuttgart approaching the start line. So DHBW just doing their final checks for their first autocross attempt. The tractive system is active. Final checks of the track, and the timer has started for them to begin their run. A small moment of hesitation by the car, and it sets off and immediately clips a couple of cones. It seems that it was about to get back onto the track, but unfortunately they have decided to stop the run. This will be a DNF for Stuttgart on their first attempt. DHBW Stuttgart is being retrieved. We have a very orange machine approaching the starting line, and I believe that is car number 40 from TU Eindhoven. This will be Eindhoven's first attempt at the autocross as well. Final preparations being done by the team members, the track marshals and officials watching on to make sure everything is safe and proper. We've seen in past events that the orange color has been helpful, at the very least during the skid pad. Through some anecdotal evidence, so let's see if that will help Eindhoven here on the autocross as well. So solid flashing, turning into orange flashing, and unfortunately turning into blue flashing on the Eindhoven car. There will be a DNF for the Eindhoven team on their first attempt. I'm not sure what the issue was, but clearly the car decided that it might have been finished or that there was some error in the system. Hopefully the team will be able to resolve the issue and come back for their second attempt. But looking over at the queue, there are already quite a few cars waiting for their second run. Of course, priority is being given to the people going for their first attempts. And the next team that will be doing their first attempt is car number 127 from Lausanne. Final checks being done on the car from Lausanne. The team member offering some explanation to the official as to why the car is potentially not yet ready to go. We see some team members making their way back to the car as well. And I believe that will count as a did not start for the team, but not as a DNF because the orange flashing lights never came on. So if they're able to resolve their issue, they will be able to still do their 2 attempts. And for what I can see here from the commentary position, it appears that the first run queue is empty at the moment. And indeed now we will see car number 41 from Deggendorf coming in for their 2nd attempt. So Deggendorf lining up for their 2nd attempt. On their first run, they had a successful finish with a 39.57. Let's see if they can go a little bit faster. Car is ready to go, team members stepping away. The timer has started for them to begin their run, and as I say that, off they go. Going very smoothly through the first few corners. Slowing down a little bit out of the hairpin, but now picking up speed again. Clipping just 1 cone on the chicane, almost clipping another through the back section of the track, now on the back straight. Turning very hard through the final corner, collecting a couple of cones and doing a big power slide finish over the line. And there's the solid blue light. I believe all 4 wheels did not leave the track, so that should be a successful 2nd run for Deggendorf. Now the team members just checking that there are no more cones stuck under the car. I believe there might still be 1 or 2. And while those checks are being completed, I believe they got all of them. Car number 31, TU Fast from Munich, is lining up for their 2nd attempt. They set a time of 30.89 on their first run. and surely we'll be hoping to improve even more on that time. Beeping sound from the TU Munich car. I'm not sure if it was also blue flashing lights. It's a little bit hard to tell in the glare from the sun, but I think it was, judging by the fact that an official and a team member are making their way back over to the car. From Munich will indeed be taken away from the start line. Not sure whether that will count as a DNF, did not finish, or DNS, did not start. And meanwhile, car number 76, KIT Karlsruhe, approaching the starting line. They had the very fast time on their first lap. They held provisional pole for quite a while, until that was taken away by ETH Zurich. But that was only 14 hundredths of a second faster, so let's see if Karlsruhe can improve and take back provisional pole. Just under 1 hour left on the clock for the autonomous autocross as the team members from Karlsruhe step away from the car. It was very, very quick and very smooth on its first run. So let's see if they elect once again to take a smooth approach and maybe tune up the performance by just a little bit, or if they will unleash the full power of the vehicle. Very smooth start, gradually building up the pace. Going neatly through the first couple of corners and through the hairpin. Very smooth throttle input, very smooth steering input. Accelerating hard on the back straight, braking early but successfully for the final corner. Not clipping any cones that I could see and stopping just past the finish line. It is a new provisional pole. And a solid blue light. That is a successful second run from Karlsruhe, and they do take back provisional pole position. Up next, we have lining up car number 284 from the University of Toronto. Also going for their first attempt. So, the car from Toronto is ready to go. But unfortunately, we see a blue flashing light coming from the car. That will count as a DNF for car number 284 on their first attempt. But they will get at least one more try. Toronto car is taken away. It is replaced by car number 95 from Chalmers. This will be their second attempt. They did already set a very fast time on their first run, a 27.06, but I'm sure they will be hoping to beat the provisional pole set by Karlsruhe. Chalmers just about ready to start their second run. 27.06 to beat from their first attempt. Accelerating gradually, slowing down before the first few corners. Power sliding quite hard, but finding its way back under control. Power sliding very hard again, and unfortunately this time they do have to stop. The car is positioned perpendicular to the track. I'm sure providing a very nice view for everybody watching from the grandstand, but unfortunately that will be a DNF on Chalmers' second run. Now we will have car number 59 from Dresden coming for their second attempt. They unfortunately suffered a DNF on their first run, but seeing as they're back relatively quickly, they will have figured out what their issue was, and we will see a successful second attempt. So final checks complete on the Dresden car. Hearing the ready to drive signal and the flashing orange lights, and the car sets off. Maintaining a nice pace through the first half of the track. Going very nicely around the hairpin. Unfortunately, it does clip a couple of cones on the outside, but still continuing within the lines. Accelerating hard, but braking a little bit early on the back straight. Nevertheless, finding their way around the final corner and going across the line. And there is the solid blue light. That is a successful second run for Dresden and a 28.55. E51 lining up for their second attempt. Unfortunately, Ghent had a DNF on their first run. But again, seeing as the team returned well before the end of the event, they must be hopeful that they have figured out any issues that they had and will be able to post a successful time in their second run. The final preparations on the Ghent car taking a little bit longer than before, but seeing as there is only one car, I believe, in the first run queue, the officials are being a little bit more tolerant, for a little bit more leeway. We see the orange lights, solid orange lights, are on now. And the team members and officials are retreating to the position behind the tire wall in the middle of the track. Going, which hopefully it still will. You can see the officials are checking the stopwatch to make sure that the time limit to get going is not exceeded. There's a little bit of steering input while at a standstill from the Ghent car, and it does get going. A bit of a tentative start, but enough to stay within the codes. Going through the first corner very gently, but able to navigate the rest of the slalom successfully as well. Going tentatively through the hairpin, still a very clean run, no cones hit as far as I can tell. Going a little bit slower in front of the grandstand, allowing everybody a great view. Managing that little kink before the back curve very nicely as well. Slow and steady. The car does seem to be drifting a little bit to the left and a little bit to the right to make sure it stays in the middle of the track. We've seen a couple of runs like this today already, and those all ended successfully. Let's hope that trend continues. Going well through the final corner and just approaching the finish line now. Oh, and unfortunately that is a DNF just before the finish line. That is so heartbreaking for the Ghent team, but they do get a lot of support from the stands, and deservedly so. And next up, we do have car number 370, one of the competitors from Portugal, Porto. We've already seen Leiria and Lisbon, and now the third Portuguese team making their way over to the start line.
Yeah, and as far as I can see from the timing, they have not done a run yet.
Indeed, that is the case. Of course, similar as all the other driverless disciplines, only 2 runs allowed per team here at the Autocross. And yes, indeed, there's still quite a few teams that we have not seen yet. I think the quote-unquote biggest name, at least for us Delft alumni, is the team from Delft. We have not seen them attempt the Autocross yet.
But I don't think they're in the Driverless Cup, so I don't think they will attempt one. This is, of course, for all the teams that are also participating in the Driverless Cup. But yeah, we've just arrived, Mickey and I, from the whole acceleration fiesta. What did we miss, Egor? I was having a look at the times, and I saw some really close close ones. KIT and Zurich fighting it out in a few tenths of a second. Even Göteborg Chalmers in there, only 2 seconds slower. Lisboa even joining the top 4.
Yes, indeed. A little bit of everything so far. You know, a couple of cars taking a very slow and cautious approach just to make sure that they make it all the way around the track, and have been doing so successfully. A couple of faster cars, so as you say, Chalmers, Lisbon, KA Racing, the other Ulm, fighting it out for pole position. A couple of spins, you know, naturally a couple of cone collections here and there as well. But overall, I think, especially compared to previous years, a very, very high level being shown by all of the teams. A lot of teams successfully completing at least one of their attempts. And let's hope we can see the same from Porto now.
Yeah, just doing a quick scroll to the timing, and I think it's about a 50% success rate, which is very high for these kind of events.
Maybe it's a 50% success rate for the attempts, but I think in terms of the number of teams, it is actually higher than 50%. And you see there one of the approaches that I was mentioning, slow and steady, but making sure to stay nicely within the track. We just saw a similar run from Ghent. Unfortunately, that one ended in a DNF just before the finish line. Let's hope that for Porto it will end in success.
Slow and steady wins the race, of course, if you can get some points on the board. Yeah, what a heartbreak for Ghent. They just stopped before the finish line. I can imagine that in terms of perception, maybe it's not the easiest thing to kind of judge if you're like over or just before the line. Not sure what exactly went wrong, of course, but even if one little thing goes wrong in these kind of events, that is DNF. Only when you complete everything, every single step successfully, is where you can get points. But indeed, when we were walking over here, we were walking by the huge queue that is being created by all the teams that still want to have a go. I do have a feeling that there are no cars in the first run queue, indicating that at least everyone had one shot. And then, of course, a lot of people wanted to go a second time. But yeah, Porto still going very steady along this track. I think this is about halfway, even past halfway. They have already covered the difficult bits, so hopefully the car doesn't get tired of it. It gives us the time to have a look up close to the car, of course. Really cool color scheme with black, white and red. On Uniporto, they also have a very nice shape at the back for a bit of aerodynamic reasons, and a very small diffuser at the bottom. One more long right-hander to go downhill. I think even if they were to lose power, you would be able to drive down. And then hopefully the car will be able to detect where the finish is. The crowd is cheering them on. No way.
Oh no. 10 meters away from home. The car decides, nope, I'm not going to do that. Computer says no, unfortunately. Oh, there. Oh dear.
No, yeah. And we were debating just now if they would see the finish or not, but they actually missed one of the final slots or final gates. How is that possible? Maybe they got a little bit confused by the whole part in the middle. There are some yellow tires there, so imagine they mistook that for cones.
Yeah, it's one of the mysteries of algorithms, right? Recognizing cones, and I think the software is programmed to actually recognize cones, right? By the color, shape, and size. And we don't know whether it's confused. I do know last year and the year before, also let's say all the advertisement banners on the side. Some of them had actually quite confusing colors as well. So we saw a lot of these cars going off track. Well, it's our speculation, and because of those banners from all the sponsors. So yeah.
Yeah, indeed. And as you mentioned, it's very tricky to get an idea of what the algorithm is thinking. Would be cool if there was a way that we could, as the audience, kind of see what the algorithm is thinking, so we have a bit of an idea why it missed a certain corner or why it did a certain action. And I already mentioned it yesterday, but the Chalmers team, they often release a video of their track drive or their autocross, showing how the car is perceiving the track. And I found it really interesting, and I really hope they do it again this year. Because that does give an idea exactly what you said, why they are maybe perceiving something wrong.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see this also in the Tesla cars, right? If you turn that view on, then it shows you what the car is looking and perceiving it, right? So
exactly, and that gives you so much confidence
exactly,
that the right things are happening. So maybe that's something for in the future, that we have a big screen here or on the live stream that shows a bit what the car is thinking. And while we are saying that, there's a new car on the block, E24. This is again a yellow and black car, and I do have to look a bit closer. Is that Unilemgo? I think it is. Oh no, Leiria. My apologies,
yeah,
Portuguese.
I told you there are a couple of cars having similar liveries, right? So this is the third car with the black and yellow. So it's the other Ulm or the other Karlsruhe.
Yeah, there needs to be a limit to black and yellow. But they already had a run on the board, 242nd one. Slow, but points are there. So maybe they tuned it up now. I do have a feeling this is quicker than 240 seconds, although I'm not too sure. Might actually be quite a similar time though. No.
That's it went off track. It went back again, but I think someone pressed the button, not to make it worse.
Yeah, nice round of applause from the audience. A lot of people that are currently watching this. That's nice to see. The whole grandstands are full. A wall of people right across the track. What do we have next? Oh, the Prague car.
Just seeing that car, I'm confused. But let's see whether the car itself it's not confused by all the cones over here, because on one side you have the blue cones, on the other side you have the yellow cones. So a little bit of payback by the track to the car. So yeah, it should be interesting to see.
They already had a first successful run of 31 seconds. So
that's pretty
they
quick,
are looking
actually.
to improve. Yeah, definitely. And indeed, their livery kind of half matching the track. Blue on the left and well, yellow or red on the right-hand side. So there is just over half an hour left in this session. I have to say the setting up and clearing of the cars is going quite quickly. We've seen it move a bit slower in the past. So that does allow a lot of the teams to go again. Looking at the queue again, I do not see any cars in the first run queue. That's really nice, so everyone had their opportunity. And then there are plenty of cars in the second driver queue. I wonder how many cars we can cover in this coming half hour. But the team from Prague seems to be ready. So is the car. I see a red flashing light, so the high voltage is on. And given that it was already quite a quick lap time, we might see some spectacle now. And off we go. Ambitious acceleration. First S quite quickly. Nice line actually. And, back part, or for the audience, the front part of the track, into this kind of high-speed section, braking while cornering. Yeah, the car definitely not holding back, hard on the brakes. Into the last corner. And they finish. Wow. Let's have a look what their time was. 25.8, and that is current third place without any penalties accounted for.
Wow. So you checked the time and it was third place.
Exactly.
Very good.
But look at the speed they're carrying here, Mickey. It was crazy, no? I was getting a little bit anxious, but
yeah,
it
was fast. It didn't look fast; it was fast as well. So great job from the Prague team. So yeah, top 3. That's a lot of points in the bag.
Indeed, and in this competition, it is actually, I'm not too sure in Driverless Cup if your position matters or the actual time. Depends a little bit from. It's one or the other. In the Driverless Cup, it's one option, and in the normal competition, it's the other. To do again for this evening to check. Oh, we should read the rules a bit better, I think. But yeah, this run from Prague only half a second slower than the best run from KIT so far. And again, super efficient switch with the cars. The Schweinfurt car is already ready, while the Prague car is being pushed off.
Yeah, and still they are following the track. They don't want to go off track and by any means necessary. They want to stay on track and go outside. At a certain point they will have to leave the track, otherwise you will be stuck on the track forever. But yeah, that's probably to learn the car to stay on track no matter the cost. So anyway, car number 197, as soon as the car from Prague is clear, will be given the go-ahead.
Yeah, and this whole session took about 4 or 5 minutes. That means we'll definitely get, what is it, 6 more cars in, hopefully in the coming half hour if nothing goes wrong. Meanwhile, Schweinfurt car quite quickly going across the track. Really curious to see, they're clipping a few cones, but doesn't seem to be too bothered.
No, carrying one as well, one of the yellow cones. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's just stuck under car now, so you can't see it, but it's still there. I think there are.
Now it's locked in
between the wheels and the side pod.
It dropped it.
It dropped it? Ah, okay, so it's out. And it's finished.
All jokes aside, it was a really good run. It's a 35 or 34.9, I should say, from the Schweinfurt team. That is their personal best. Indeed, it was trying to also collect some blue cones. Didn't quite manage. Only carried 1 yellow for more than half the track.
Yeah, I can remember a couple of years ago, there was one car that collected a lot of cones during the track drive, so the endurance version. And when it stopped, we counted 17 cones coming out of the car. It was in the cockpit, in the side pods, under the wings, everywhere.
I remember
17
indeed
cones.
We saw about, what was it, about 8 cones on top of the car, and the moment they lifted up the car, a whole sea of new cones appeared. It was really the cone eater. All right, TU Fast is ready with their autonomous system. Schweinfurt cleared the track very quickly. This operation only took about 3 minutes, so that's good news for all the cars that are currently in the queue. And I'll have a look what their last performance was, because we joined this session a bit later. Very ambitious start, a bit too ambitious. Collecting a lot of cones, going a little bit off track. That looked more like a run from the Crazy 20. And unfortunately, they stopped the car. Not sure if they already had a run in. Yeah, they did. They had a 30.9 before, so they probably tuned it up just a bit too much. Because already in the first corner it went too wide, collected a few cones, and from then on it was mayhem. And I think that is the Hamburg car who's now lining up.
Yeah, we need some time to repair the track. Marshals are doing their best to to repair all the damage caused to the track. And by that, they're doing a great job, obviously. So there isn't a lot of time lost. So now it's all a matter to, well, to collect the car, which is stuck on the track. And I think they are lifting the car up to see whether they can collect the cone. Yeah, there we go. They're not allowed to keep that cone to take home. Now the driver is in, so the car will be pushed up pretty soon, so Hamburg can have a crack at it.
Yeah, looking forward to this run. The previous one was a 28.7. That indicates to me that they are quite fast. So let's see if they also tuned it up. Hopefully not too much, so that it stays on the track. And yeah, then they might compete for one of the top spots. They are currently, and I'll have a look. They are currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th place. So maybe they can move in towards the top 5. Off they go. Oh, very quick. Ooh, oh, they're spinning out. Wow. The car just kept on going.
And it was aiming towards the middle island where all the people are standing. So I think it was murder mode on.
How many meters is that? Is that 1 meter, 2 meters?
It's not
in between.
It's not comfortable. I think the safety official of the team was right to press the panic button before anything else went wrong.
Yeah, it went crazy fast through the first left-hander, oversteered, and it just stayed on throttle.
Yeah, it didn't brake, didn't it? I mean, it just
kept on going.
Yeah.
They just disabled the brake for this run. Let's see how it went. Interesting. I find it weird that these driverless cars, they kind of also can spin out. I would guess that it's all controlled by a control system. So I'm wondering if then somewhere some perception goes wrong, or if it's really about kind of like the lateral control of the car that lacks.
It's all software, so it's a big mystery to us, isn't it? I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of lines of code. Maybe even hundreds of thousands of code, I don't know, but it's a lot. And what's going on in the brain of the machine, well, we don't know.
It doesn't matter anymore for them. That was their final attempt. Now we have Tallinn that is preparing themselves. And what? They actually did not set a time yet, so this is an important run for them. It's bit of a make or break. Would they have chosen some conservative settings, or are they confident that they will make it? We were not there in their previous run, so I'm not sure what exactly happened. But usually the guys and girls from Tallinn are pretty good at making fast cars. Can they also make a fast driverless?
Yeah, looking at the clock, just a bit more than 20 minutes left. So yeah, I think your calculation might be right. Takes about 4 to 5 minutes per car. Obviously, if the car is very, very slow on track, it can take even a lot more. I saw a time of 240 seconds, which is, if I'm not mistaken, 4 minutes by itself without all the setting up. So if you are unlucky and there's a car in front of you that takes a long time and you're just behind them in the queue, you might be unlucky. But there we go, Tallinn is off the road. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if everybody can see it, but it just stopped after the start line. It just went straight to the left again towards the people. So I'm seeing a pattern here for these cars.
Indeed, the middle section is too attractive for these driverless cars. They are getting hungry, and apparently the cones are not enough anymore to still their hunger, and they're out for humans. So it looks like for Tallinn, completing the autocross was a too tall order.
Oh, nice one, Matti. Nice one. I can appreciate that.
Leuven are heading to the track. It's a team from KU Leuven, but it's also a collaboration with Thomas More, also a school in Belgium. Car number 22. Team from Belgium, Leuven, they invested quite a lot in their driverless capabilities and have done quite well over the past years. I do see that their last run was a DNF, so also this one is very important for them to get some points. And there's a black fan that is also joining us on the dynamic area. But luckily it has a driver in there. Seems like the car and the team are ready for this attempt. I'm pretty sure everyone from Leuven is pretty tense right now. Let's see if they go for a cautious or an ambitious approach. It could be either of the two, I think.
Or maybe cautiously ambitious.
Whoa,
there we go.
Wheel spin even.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah, so far, well, not going to say it. No, not going to say it because last time we
quick on the
jinxed
straight,
it, so,
quick on the straight, and then well braking before the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think this is one of the most difficult sections of the track. It's navigating it well. Then here we have a bit more, let's say, high-speed cornering.
Yeah,
bit getting cheered on while it passes the crowd. And this is the more high-speed straight that we have. It does accelerate a bit. Braking for the last corner. Oh no!
That is a tricky part because you go a very sharp turn to the right. You go downhill, and then if you look in the far, then you can see different colors and so on. Maybe even the yellow cones from the practice area. We don't know, but it's a very tricky part for that car. So unfortunately, it went off track, and I think the safety official killed it before it went any further.
Yeah, indeed. I can well imagine that it was the cones from the test track that maybe distracted it a bit. There's a whole line of cones which is perfectly aligned. Kind of if you're coming out of the corner, I'll have a look. So maybe it got that wrong. Too bad for the team from Leuven. It was looking quite good. And unfortunately, that's the final attempt. Another Dutch-speaking car, or at least don't think the car speaks yet. They are autonomous. But of course, the team from Eindhoven, the Netherlands, they will be one of the last cars on track. I think we'll have time for maybe 2 more, 3 more if we're lucky. And also Eindhoven already had 1 attempt, but did not complete it successfully. And I think both the team and the car is ready for their run. Will they go quick or slow? They did about half a meter and then immediately the car came to a standstill. It's also in these situations that I would really like to know, like, what causes the car to stop after half a meter?
Yeah, some kind of error code, or like in Windows you get an error code with the blue screen of death, right? So at least you have some idea of what's going on. Stack overflow, divide by 0, I don't know. But we're so curious to find out what's happening inside the brain of the car at the moment, right?
Yeah, indeed. And if we see a car like veer off to the left or the right, you know, then we can still make a bit of speculations. It saw the corner wrong, but in these cases, I really have no clue. Maybe it just couldn't find the start of the track or something, or it already thought it finished. I don't know.
Yeah, that might be the case as well. I've started. Hey, I'm finished. I see big, huge orange cones. Let's hit the brakes and stop. I'm finished.
Yeah, maybe very cocky autonomous algorithms that think they're so fast they can finish it in half a second.
Yeah, I'm so good. I can finish the track in half a second. Yeah, exactly. We don't know. We're just speculating a little bit here until we see the car 69 coming up.
Mannheim. Let's see if they already.
DHBW Mannheim.
And following the timing, it seems that they have not done a run yet, unless my search capabilities are so bad. No, I cannot find them back, so this might actually be the first run for them.
Not a lot of time left. Yegor just reminded me we have 13 minutes left. So if our math is correct, that means 3, maybe 4 cars. Maybe if that's fast, just like Eindhoven, then maybe a 5th one. But I think the queue is longer than that. So I'm pretty sure the teams that are 8th or 9th or 10th in the queue well, the chances are there get going. It's really slim.
True. What is get going though is the car from Mannheim. Slow, but slow and steady wins the race. So far they navigated well through the first corner. A small round of applause starting in the grandstand. Cheering them on. Trying to find its way. And you see these little like bursts of small acceleration. I guess every time it sees a new pair of cones, it thinks, oh, finally I saw the track. Ooh, playing with our hearts there. But looks like they managed well.
It's like the car is looking for some confidence every time. Oh, where's the cone? Oh, there's the cone. Okay, I will go. Oh, where's the car? Cone. Oh, there's the cone. I will go. So it's like a very insecure version of the autonomous car.
Now it's starting to collect some.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Let's hope it can recover from here.
It did actually, on that part anyway. So it's back on track. So nice recovery from Mannheim. Stay on track. Stay on track.
Yes.
No, stay on track.
Your prayers are being heard, Mickey.
Yeah, there you go. Another attempt to go off track, but going back on track again.
Onto the straight. Slightly wiggling the nose a bit in search for some cones. There's always this little kick every time it passes a pair of cones.
Well, whatever works, right? I mean,
Exactly, yeah.
So we're coming up to one of the tricky parts of the track because it's a very, very tight turn. And also looking at the line of cones at the other side. So let's hope it can navigate this part of the track.
Oh no!
Correctly.
Ooh, yes,
Oh, yes, no, yes, no, yes.
Tricky.
Yes.
Collected
still-
the blue one.
Yeah, but still on track.
Yes.
So a couple of meters left to go.
That's really
Come
playing
on.
with our heart.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
And now,
Yeah, there we go. Just
final
a couple
part.
of more, couple of more. Yes, and now stop. Yeah, it did stop. It did stop.
I guess they
So
crossed it.
that's blue.
So
Yeah, they crossed the line. I can see the timing beacon just behind the wheels. And so actually, that's a valid run.
yeah, and it's 137. So just imagine, Mickey, how long the 240 seconds must have taken. But any time is better than no time. So yeah, congratulations to Mannheim. Big cheers from the crowd. We have 11 more minutes. With a bit of luck, we can get 2 cars in. And it is the first one is HAWK Göttingen. We'll go for, is it another run? It seems like this is their first one. Maybe they already had an attempted start, or at least moved to the starting area, but didn't quite start. So they lost their priority spot in the queue, but do still have their first run to go. That could be an explanation. They are rushing to get the car ready. They do have time, but it's mostly for the other teams so that they can also have a go at it. Another round of applause for the Mannheim team, rightly so.
Yeah, the track is clear anyway. Also, all the cones have been replaced, and just waiting for HAWK Göttingen to get everything ready. Team members are satisfied with the final checks on the car, and they're just going to retreat to the safe zone, surrounded by tire walls, which is not unnecessary if you look at some of the cars that are aiming towards the people. So let's see whether HAWK Göttingen.
Flashing blue lights at the start
flashing,
is
okay.
never a good thing.
Nope, that's usually not a good thing. So that was quick.
Again, same question. What are the kind of things that can go wrong that causes the autonomous system to switch off? Maybe some sensors that are not well configured, or charging of the car, I don't know. Milano.
Yeah, they're eager to get going because they're almost pushing the HAWK Göttingen out of the way. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
It's our turn. So yeah, I can totally imagine that if you're waiting in queue for maybe an hour or 2 hours, I don't know, then it's your spot. You want to take it and get driving as soon as possible. But they're on track, so they will be allowed to drive, even though we are approaching the 7:30 mark. And as we know from previous events, this event will close strict at 7:30.
Yeah, and also for Milano, this is quite important because they have not set a time yet. From what we can see on the timing, their last attempt was a DNF. Not quite sure what happened. but it's really essential for them to get some points on the board. So let's see what they can do on this autocross. And then yeah, I think I see 4 cars in the queue, maybe even more. But I think we'll be lucky if we can get the Milano car and one more. Of course, all depends on what happens on track and how quick they can set up the car and clear the track again. But, yeah, Milano looking quite good again this year. They also had a really good skid pad time. The team is ready, the car is ready, so nothing is stopping us right now from seeing a really cool autocross by Milano. Come on. Yes, bring some speed. It's looking for the track. Whew, still on there, but it's making it exciting. It's like a real driver, being respectful for the cones.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that. Very interesting driving style, almost compared to a human. It's not that unsimilar. Yeah, go on, go back on track. Go back on track. Yeah, very well recovered.
Very gentle for the cones.
But nobody who cares. Yeah, go on.
Oh, it's. I think it collected 2 cones now.
Yeah, I can see it.
That's okay.
Definitely, just cross the line.
Do a standstill. Come on.
Yeah, switch to solid blue. Come on. Yeah, there we go.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well done, Milano.
And that is a 40.9 for them. Sevilla might be one of our last cars that we will see, unless the HBW Stuttgart is very lucky. We've seen a turnaround time of around 5 minutes, sometimes quicker. So
yeah, to the credit of the Milan team, they are trying to hurry and getting the car out of the way. They know there are some other teams waiting in queue, so credit to them that they don't want to be the obstacle for the other teams. But yeah, still, Sevilla needs some time to set up the car, and obviously Milan needs some time, even if it's short, to clear the track as soon as possible. Maybe after Sevilla we have time for one more, but it's going to be very close for sure.
Yeah, it was very clever by the Milano team to already push their car a bit forward, so that Sevilla could install themselves while they arrange getting driver in and so on. So sportsmanship for sure. 92 Sevilla. The team is ready. The car seems to be ready as well. I'll have a look on the timing if they already had a run in before. They did attempt one, but it was DNF. Let's see. They go for the cautious approach. We've seen this before, and often a successful way to complete an autocross. They cover the first corners. It's always a good sign. And this is where I think one of the most tricky parts is, apart from at the end. A very tight corner just in front of the entire audience. But doing it very cleanly, very nice. Has a little time to wave to the crowd, I think. Ooh. And for some reason it is kind of coming to a halt, but continuing on.
Slowly but surely, navigating the course cautiously. But yeah, in the end, it matters to finish. So whatever you need to do to make it over the finish line, careful to avoid the cones. Will it be able to go back on track?
Wow.
that should be very interesting if it makes it back. Not yet, but oh no.
That's gonna be tricky.
Wrong way. Let's see how smart the AI is on board. maybe doing a 180 or a
Might be.
360 even, and going back.
Might be. I mean,
that would be really funny.
he already made it most part.
Well, yeah, it's trying. There's no lack of trying though. Maybe another pass.
Team member
No,
has. Yeah.
They killed it.
There was a chance indeed that they would make it back, but
yeah, I was impressed actually because the car was looking for a way. It lost the way, but it was looking desperately to get back on track. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So I think it's
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. So I'm pretty sure the next car will be allowed to continue. And looking at the marshals, they need to prepare the track as well.
Oh yeah, there's one ready for action. Interesting.
It's a DHBW Stuttgart, just coming up to the line. Well, that's a record time to prepare that car. Already the team members are behind the barrier. We just have to wait for the Sevilla car to get clear of the track. And then, pretty sure that we have still one minute.
Yeah, it's a matter of seconds.
Yeah, before the final closing of the event. So there we go. Sevilla is clear.
Some fast-paced walking by the Sevilla team member. And let's see how our final car performs. A bit of wheel spin at the beginning. Taking a wider line, clipping some cones. We hear the gong, but the car's already going. Tightest corner of the track. It seems to have survived it. Now doing its run in front of the crowd. Onto the quicker section of the track. All right, and now this tricky bit here. Oh, with ease. And then of course we have the final bit. And that looks like
solid blue, very good.
Very important run for them because their previous run was a DNF and this one is a 43 seconds one. So on the very last minute, they managed to get a whole lot of points.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Excellent drive from DHBW Stuttgart. I can see the hugs being given between the team members, and rightfully so, because in the dying minutes of this event, they have completed the autocross for driverless, and I think that was the final drive of today, because all the other cars in the queue are being told to go back to the pits. As always, in this competition, they are very strict with the time limit. So, yeah, the teams had 3 hours to do this driverless autocross. That should be ample time to attempt at least once, maybe even twice. So, yeah, unfortunate for those teams in the queue. No more time left. Stuttgart, well done.
Yeah, but luckily everyone had a first run, and it seems so they were all second runs at least. So that's nice to see. We're wrapping up here indeed. Quick rundown of the times. So best time, and this is of course without any cones, off tracks or any other issues. Best time was by Karlsruhe KIT, KA Racing, 25.33. Second place Zurich with 25.7. And third place the Prague car here at in the last half hour at a 25.8 on their autocross. We are wrapping up here. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and we see each other tomorrow again for a whole day packed full of action. Ciao.